Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we proudly present our spectacular show of podcast magic and imagination full of Disney wonder, news, and pop culture. It's the Main Street Electrical Podcast with Jenn Dave and David Dollar.
Welcome back, Jen.
Well, thanks, Dave.
Back on the Main Street Electrical Podcast. I say back like you were gone last week. We were all here last week.
Maybe
Ourselves
literally
and
everyone was here. It
Kyla.
was fine.
No, it's been a crazy week. The chirping and noises you hear in the background, that's my kid, because usually I record in my office when it's just me. Tonight, Stephanie, my beloved wife, is still in Egypt. She'll be in Egypt tomorrow, actually, returning to Atlanta tomorrow night. She'll get home on Friday back here because she just doesn't want to drive back late tomorrow night, which is understandable.
I don't blame her.
Drive. And so, I'm like, you were busy today because you just got back. We'll get there in a minute. And, I'm like, we have to record tonight. And I got to sit on my dining room table. Kids running around here listening to his phone and watching Game Show Network and such. And so, so to the audience, if you hear noises in the background, I can't apologize for it. It's just him. It is what it is.
Hey,
here we are.
It's all good.
I mean, Brady's like that too. When he's hungry, he's chomping around and behind the scenes making noises like, hungry, I'm hungry.
Yeah, you never know.
Where's the chips? Jen, how did you Disney this week?
Oh, I mean, I get to cheat. I Disneyed by being in Disney, literally. And
did.
I am wearing my new Tower of Terror welcome back for those who made it shirt.
Yes, you are. And you made it, apparently.
I did make it.
Very nice. Very good. So
Yeah.
I have a story to tell about my Disney experience this week because
Okay.
my kid on the spectrum, once he gets focused in on something, he's focused in on it. That's kind of what he wants. And so we'll go to Walmart and we'll walk the aisles and stuff, and I'll get my steps in, and he's entertained. And he just, for whatever reason, the last few weeks, he's focused in on getting the Encanto DVD. I'm a Blu-ray guy. If I get a movie, I want it on Blu-ray. I want the nicer version, not the DVD. And I'm like, we're not going to buy the DVD for $10. We'll buy the Blu-ray for 15. And so I have it on Amazon. It's already come in. I've got the Blu-ray on the shelf. He wanted the DVD. And so Monday, he had his speech therapy. He had piano. It was a great day at school. It was a great day all around. Just, he's having a great time, whatever. And I'm like, you know what? We're going to go buy you Encanto DVD because it's at Walmart. We'll just go. I'll spend the $10. He's going to be happy. We get to Walmart. It's not there. It's not there. In the piano, Gamble, we're at piano. And you're going to hear a lot of that, by the way. We're at piano, which is about 10 miles in the eastern direction. And so, I'm like, well, there's a Walmart there. We'll go by there. They didn't have it. I'm like, well, you know what? We'll try to get it whenever we can. Go to Amazon and order it. The one we want is not available on Amazon. Walmart has it for order, but you have to order it. It's not going to come to next week. And I'm like, well, this will never do. So Tuesday, right after lunch, I hop in the car and I go to a town in the opposite direction, about 10 miles the other direction, to Alabaster, Alabama, to the Walmart that's there. Going to the Walmart, and I find it. I've got it. Coming all the way back, like it's basically an hour of my time because I have to go down the interstate and get off on there and just. But he has Encanto in his hand. It's actually sitting right beside him on the couch now. He likes to open up. Here's the click of the disc. He'll pull the disc out, put the disc back in, click, close it, open it, click, click, hold the disc up, close it. That's his thing. And he's, and we were out and about today. Cute. He's had Encanto in his hand the whole time. He's like, it's whatever.
It's his. He loved it.
And he was watching it on Disney Plus, earlier, listening to some of the songs while holding the DVD case in his hand. So
that's so cute.
Yes, that is how I Disneyed, at least for today. And I'll be at Disney next week. So we'll get to that a little bit later. Jen, you just got back from Disney. Let's talk a little bit about your trip. Kind of give an overview. I know you didn't rope drop.
I did not.
Naturally, you and Brady are the kind of people that you've been so many times. You'll get there when you get there. You're like Mr. Incredible in The Incredibles whenever they're on the interstate. We'll get there when we get there. That's kind of you and Brady.
Yeah.
But this time, not so much. Tell me a little bit about how your trip was.
So we were with some folks who don't get to go a lot. One person is a seasoned Disney veteran. However, he just hasn't been in the past few years. Pardon me, my voice is still a little bit tired because I've spent the last 5 days, like, we've talked nonstop, laughed our heads off. It was so much fun.
I
know.
Who are you and what'd you do with my co-host?
But then the other three people who we were with have really only been like one person, this was their second time. One person, this was like their third time. And one person, maybe like their fourth time. So they have not seen a lot of the new things. So in my head, I'm like, okay, this is going to be full week. This is not how we typically tour.
Yep.
So we had all the dining reservations. We did Rodeo Roundup BBQ for the first time. We did, we took them to Italia. We took them to Space 220. We went to the Plaza because we did the dessert party. So we had like late nights too. But because we are more late night people, we weren't all about the rope dropping life, but we did hardcore use Genie Plus. And I was stacking like a fool, like a professional. Let me tell you what, we got everything done in every park. And we went, I will say the first day we went to Epcot, we did get a magical moment and got escorted into the line for Remy, I think because the cast member was laughing at us. My friend Lauren and I were totally going the wrong way. I'm like, where is the entrance? And the guy's like, it's over here. I'm like, oh, sorry, we just flew it. I've been up since 2, and I usually go in that
Kyla
line.
And David here, just if I could just follow them. But
right. I was like, it's like normally I go in that line, but like we didn't get a pass, so like I can't remember where the entrance is. And he starts laughing. He's like, come here. And so he just escorts us to the line. I'm like, thank you. So it was funny. But yeah, we were like hardcore all day long. And then we would get back at like 10 at night, prep for the next day. Like, okay, I'm going to stack Flight of Passage. And then we're going to do this, for the first one. And then like I would set my alarm and I would make sure that I was up every day for 7 a.m. By the way, Disney, can we fix that time? Because I'm just going to speak for every human being out there. I needed to sleep. I had interrupted sleep.
I'm surprised Siri wasn't like, why are you setting your alarm for 6:30?
My phone was so confused. It was like, what are you doing?
You've never done
what
this
are you
before.
doing? Like my body was like, I'm at Disney. Like what the heck?
So I know you're not usually someone who uses Genie a lot. How was Genie?
Right. Well, so I mean, I will use it occasionally. It's not like I've never used it, and I'll use individual lightning lanes probably more than anything.
Oh yeah, those we always use quickly
for sure. But you know what? It was fine. I will say, for me, it worked very well for the most part. I feel like the second Epcot day, I really didn't get my money's worth. But the crowds were very light. So things were a walk-on.
That's interesting. Okay.
I know, which is odd. But the first day, it was totally worth its weight. So I think it just kind of depends on crowds. I did really well with Magic Kingdom. I did really well with Hollywood Studios, getting everything. So the stacking worked really well, worked in our favor, and we were able to get everything done. So that was good.
Define stacking. There are people listening going, Genie Plus, I don't understand stacking. What does that even mean? I know what Fast Pass stacking sort of was, but define stacking for the audience.
Right. So stacking Fast Passes is basically when you have multiple sitting in your account at once. Typically, it's like you have one and then you move, or like once you've used it, you get another one. Or if it's more than 2 hours, you can go ahead and get like a second one. So you might have like 2 stacked. Well, when I started the morning, I bought, and let me just use Magic Kingdom. I bought Tron. I bought Seven Dwarfs because they definitely wanted to do that. And Seven Dwarfs was fairly cheap at only $11. And then, so I started with 2, and then I stacked Peter Pan because that was one person's like must do. So I was like, well, we're getting Peter Pan.
Of course.
So I got it for like $11.30. So that means I had 3 stacked. Well, at 11 o'clock, I could get another one, which means I had 4 stacked that I hadn't used yet because I got Seven Dwarfs for a certain time. So it worked out where I was, what did I get after Peter Pan? Oh, Haunted Mansion. So we ended up being able to go Pan, Seven Dwarfs, Mansion. And then at that point, after I got Mansion, I got another one, like maybe Big Thunder or something. And so I just kept setting my alarm for when I could get the next one. So I always had at least one. Typically, I had about 2 sitting there, sometimes up to 4 sitting at the same time, where we just letting us go boop, 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 boop. And then we would just ride, things that had a short wait,
Right. So basically the general rule is, and I'll see if I this is one of those tricky things that if you don't word it just right, it's really confusing.
Yeah, right.
So if you get a lightning lane early on, let's just say you got Haunted Mansion for 3 p.m. Okay. You're not stuck waiting till 3 to get another one. 2 hours after the park opens, or after the park opens, or after you get into the park?
Is 2 hours after park opening, you
After
can
park
get
opens.
another
Okay. So,
one.
so if
So
the
at
park
11
opens at
a.m.
9, at 11 o'clock, you can go ahead and let's say you got Peter Pan. All of a sudden it was free. You got Peter Pan for 11:30,
Mhm,
even though you have a Haunted Mansion at 3 o'clock. Now, once you
mhm.
use Peter Pan at 11:30, are you able to get another one?
So, yes, at that point, because you still have that Haunted
Right.
Mansion for later in the
Right.
day, as soon
Mhm.
as you've used Peter Pan, you can get another
Right.
one.
Okay. So
Yeah.
then it just becomes like a regular Lightning Lane day. You're just waiting
Mhm.
for your one out here.
Right.
That's kind of how it
Now,
works. That's
if your first
yes.
one was 10:30, you don't have
Hmm.
to wait till 11. You can
Right.
use it as soon as you've used that
Absolutely.
first one.
Absolutely. So very
Mhm.
cool. There you go. There's your stacking and such. It sounds like a fun trip. Where'd you stay?
We stayed at Riviera.
Riviera. How was it?
Uh, I love it so much.
Hmm.
I almost love it as much, if not maybe just a little bit more than the Grand.
Interesting. Grand Flo is going to be upset when she
I
hears
don't
this.
know. I know. I mean,
Oh my
I can't
goodness.
oust her yet, but like I really love Riviera.
Riviera is nice. I have not stayed there. I've been
It's
there
really
several
nice.
times. Been there, but
Mhm.
never stayed there. Skyliner, that's what does it for me because I'm a Skyliner
Mhm.
guy. So I love the Skyliner. Last question about your trip here. Roundup Rodeo. Give us your honest assessment. You said your first time you had been there. So what did you think?
I was very impressed, honestly. I thought it was, first of all, the theming absolutely on point. Absolutely just so cute.
Mhm.
Um, we found the missing puzzle pieces in Toy Story Land because there is one
Right.
wall that is all a big puzzle, if you don't
Hmm.
know, and it has like two different missing pieces. We found them.
Hmm.
Um, it is adorable because they'll be like, Andy's coming, and then everybody has to like freeze.
Right.
And we had the most hilarious time because one friend just like wasn't getting it. And Brady's like, don't move, and made like staring at her and made her laugh. And she's cracking up. It was such a fun meal. And the food was good. And
The
I
food is
know
good.
our friend
It's good.
Melissa
Hmm.
had talked
Yep.
about all the sides. Very impressed. The
Hmm.
tots were nice and crispy. The mac and cheese was delicious. The biscuits were great. It was just really solid food. I would go back.
Yeah, I want to go back. I'm
It was
excited about
good.
going back one of these days. I feel like that's one they could make into a character meal
Oh, they could.
easily.
Mhm.
Maybe they'd have to move the tables out a little bit
I
to give it
think
a little
that would
more
be the
room,
issue.
probably.
Mhm.
And no, when they say Andy's coming, all the servers don't just collapse. That would be
No.
tragic and horrible. But they do, they do freeze,
You
like you said.
freeze.
And, you throw Woody and Jesse in there, maybe even a Buzz or something. Buzz
Mhm.
with the wings down because that would be hard. But yeah, you could easily make this a character meal and jack up the price like $25 per person. And people would pay it
Mhm.
in a heartbeat
Yeah.
because that would be really cool. And I'm wondering why they don't, or maybe even just a breakfast, just have a breakfast
Mhm.
there. And then lunch and dinner is, or whatever, have a roundup breakfast or something. Yeah, they should definitely do that.
Yeah.
So let's get to a little bit of news. Now, when I say a little bit of news, there's actually a lot of news going on here. So we're going to dive right in. And I'm going to first start with the park down the street, the Dark Lands, the Universal Park, that, of course, is building Epic Universe. Heather,
It
Moana
is.
Mom, our wonderful quasi producer, don't listen to this part because I'm about to bestow some praise upon a park that is not Disney. Universal, the Epic Universe, is looking pretty tight because I saw a video. They're testing Starfall Coaster, which is the coaster as soon as you walk
Mm.
into the gates, there's Starfall Coaster. And it looks amazing. There's like two huge, or the top hats. They're basically like the Velocicoaster has that big hill, big lift and down. It's called the
Mhm.
top hat.
Mhm.
And they have two of those, and it looks phenomenal. The curves, it
Wow.
looks fantastic. They're already testing some other coasters as well. They've also released the ride vehicles for the Yoshi ride. Now they're saying
Okay.
2025. They haven't said when.
No.
I mean, I'm thinking summer 2025, but it wouldn't shock me to know this was open for spring break next year. I mean, it would not surprise me at all because two of the hotels are opening up in January. I
Right?
cannot imagine they're going to open Epic Universe up in January unless they want to get all the
No,
kinks
I don't
out.
think so.
Because
Mm-mm.
as you've pointed out many times, and they're right, that Universal has a propensity to break stuff as soon as they open it,
Yes.
aka Hagrid's motorbike magical creature
Which
adventure
still
bike
breaks
adventure thingy. Yes, all the
all
time,
the time.
all the time, all the time. But this one is, and I haven't seen the theming. I mean, I know what the themes are to these
Right.
coasters, but I haven't seen the theming what they're doing. Hagrid is very technologically advanced with a lot of
It is.
animatronics and like you got the drops and the mist and the dog and whatever. Velocicoaster is like they just have a couple of dinosaurs going at you and you're zipping
Mhm.
by. And so they started Velocicoaster testing 6 or 8 months ahead of time, just running it constantly all day, every day, which was
Mhm.
great. I don't know how much they did on the Hagrid's, but I'm seeing this now, and it's giving me some encouragement and some hope that maybe these rides won't break down immediately. I
That
have
would be
also
nice.
heard that Universal is pulling back on some 3D stuff, like Kong, I believe, doesn't require glasses anymore. Not that it's a
Oh,
good ride
really?
anyway; it's not a good ride, but
It's a
Kong
terrible
doesn't
ride.
require the glasses. And I think there's another ride they're taking away the 3D glasses, like your favorite ride, Fast and Furious. You don't need glasses for
Oh
that.
my gosh, that ride is so stupid.
It's
I'm
such a bad ride.
sorry. It's
It's
such a
such a bad.
terrible ride. It's
Uh,
so bad.
I mean, I'm like, Jen, gun to your head, Fast and Furious, or It's a Bug's Life, and you're probably thinking, I'm a believer. I'm going to go to heaven, so I'm good. I mean,
I
just
mean,
I don't want to
like
ride either one of
I
them.
don't even like
Just
I would
make
almost
it
pick
quick.
Bugs Life. I would almost pick Bugs Life. What does that tell you?
I mean, just yeah. Anyway, Fast and Furious. But no, it's encouraging to see the progress they're making on it, and of course that leads us to D23 coming up in September,
September.
which we're all crossing our fingers. We have been I think I speak for a lot of Disney fans because I've heard this
Hmm.
from a lot of places, have been burned twice in a row now from D23 and Destination D, from Disney, and basically saying, "Hey, here's the ideas we have. We're going to do some of this stuff, maybe, kind of, sort of, maybe, just we're thinking about it." And again, Universal's like, we got like 9 coasters going in tomorrow. It's they're on their way over. And so again, Disney has the magic. They have magic that Universal will never have. Maybe in
Never.
25 or 50
Mm.
years, Universal will have a fan base that they built some nostalgia for people, but they still don't have that. Disney has that.
No.
So they always have a leg up on that. But at the same time, it's like, oh my gosh, give us something.
And
Give us
the
something.
experience in Disney is always going to be so much more fully
Yes.
immersive and all of those things. But if you're looking at new attractions, 'cause I did have someone who just asked me, like, hey, well, what are we excited about next? Like Tiana's. I'm like, right? Yep, we got Tiana's.
Yep.
And then, we have some other things in the pipeline. We just don't know when they're opening. So
Right. Tiana's is coming. It's coming fast. It's coming. It's getting here. It's getting
Mhm.
great. So yeah, D23 has been announced. I mean, like some of the stuff that they're doing is it's all coming up. And let's see. I'm trying to find here the. I mean, the lineup is kind of what you would expect. It's August the 9th, 10th, and the 11th, at the Anaheim Convention Center. And you can go online, d23.com, and see all the pricing. And some of the pricing is
Mhm.
fairly expensive if you want like reserve seating. Honestly, I would love to go to this event, but at the same time, it's like I'm okay streaming this for free at home versus paying $900 for guaranteed seating.
Mhm.
You're going to have your merchandise exclusives, immersive experiences, and such. Your entertainment showcase on Saturday, you'll have panels and presentations and such, and blah blah blah. On Sunday, you're going to have the panels on Sunday morning, and that's always when they do the big announcements for Disney coming up.
Mhm.
Like what's going to be happening. We're all crossing our fingers. This might be the time they finally announce Villains, a
Mhm.
Villains Park. That Heather, I mean, they haven't called Heather, quasi producer Heather and I, yet about our Villains plan for the Villains
Mhm.
Land beyond Big Thunder. They haven't called us yet. They will. I'm pretty sure that they will, but they haven't called us yet. But that's supposedly what's coming. Also, what's coming that we've been told, and they've kind of leaned into it, that Encanto and Zootopia and the Tropical America is coming to the Dino Land area. They're taking out Dino Land, putting in that, and they've inferred that maybe Indiana Jones is coming. And I think
Mhm.
for all of us, it's like the only place we know that it would go would be the dinosaur ride.
Right, because there's one in
You know,
Disneyland. So
I mean,
that
exactly. And I would imagine they might put in another ride where Primeval Whirl is, or put something else. I mean, I can't imagine this could be like a one ride land.
no,
They have to do
that
some
would
other.
be
I
sad.
say that. I don't know what Disney's gonna
No,
do.
because there used to
But
be other rides too. There was
yes.
Primeval
Oh,
World. There's
the
the
Triceratops spin is still there.
but like those could
Yeah.
obviously Triceratops spin can be something
Oh
else.
yeah, yeah. I mean, they'll probably will either
Something that's
remove
not
that,
glorified Dumbo.
or they'll change it to Zootopia animals and make it a Zootopia spinny thing.
No,
Or I
let's make it
don't know
something
what
better
they're
than
doing.
that.
Yeah,
I'm
or just
voting
take it
for
out.
something better than that.
Just take it out. It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Make it into a third Dumbo and put that in Storybook Circus. Why the heck not, right? And so just bring it out whatever they need to, like monorails when it's really, really busy and you have to have like all the monorails going. Just roll that Dumbo out on spring break and at Christmas time and roll it backstage when you don't need it, right? So Animal Kingdom, they've released permits, and I love that websites to do this. There are certain websites that
Oh, yeah.
I do follow that will like watch those permits like crazy. And as soon as Disney files a permit, they're like, "Hey guys, Disney's filing a permit. Disney filing a permit."
Right.
Which most of the time I'm like, okay, they're changing 6 light bulbs and they're getting permission to put a new plug in.
Exactly. Like it's not a
whatever.
big deal. But
But this time they are actually putting in some Imagineering trailers in Animal Kingdom over by the Asia area and over behind the Dino Land area. And they're actually building some walkways between that area and the Dino Land area. Now, this is not I can't tell you what they're going to do. We don't know what they're going to do.
no.
I've heard everything from cast member parking to just whatever. I do think this is the start of, personally, I think this is the start of the Dino Land transformation.
That would not surprise me at all.
Not surprise me at all. And I
that
think
wouldn't surprise me.
having it it wouldn't shock me whether we heard it next week or in May or even in June. Hey guys, Dino Land is closing at this
Mm-hmm.
certain date. They're going to put the pins out, do all the merch and everything, but
Mm-hmm.
Dino Land is closing. Come get your Chester and Hester
I
fill,
could see
blah,
it
blah, blah,
more
blah,
like
blah.
fall. Like I feel like
Well,
it wouldn't
maybe,
be
but I'm
summer,
thinking
but I could be
I
wrong.
think Josh tomorrow would love to be able to say when he's doing D23 presentation, hey guys, you notice we closed Dino Land. We're already starting. We're already going on these things.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what we're gonna do to say this is whatever. And so that way it's already blocked off. And I mean, go ahead and close it and whatever. I mean, just put a closing date on it and you're right, it might be August or something, because they want to get through summer because they're going to need that. They're going to need that people eating space. So that I totally get.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But I could see. I don't know, or maybe they would just close off part of it. I don't know.
I would say they
But
probably close off part of it because they don't want to lose Dinosaur until
right,
they have to.
right.
So I would say, yes, Hester and Chester's,
Chester, Chester, Hester, and Fester, and Mester. Yes, all those guys.
Dino, whatever,
We need to.
whatever.
We need to go through the story, not right now, but of the Chester and Hester story. Maybe do a retrospective on Dino Land,
Yeah.
long lost Dino Land.
Whenever
Also
we get that
announced.
announcement.
Also announced at D23 is the Disney Legends lineup. Now, Disney Legends is basically an accomplishment. It's a
Mm-hmm.
lifetime achievement award to somebody who has been a creative, somebody who's given to the Disney community entertainment, whether it's television or whether it's the parks, whether it's the movies. Now, some, of course, they've given it to lifelong Disney contributors. Other times they've
Mm-hmm.
given it to people who maybe have come into the fold in recent years. And that's going to be kind of some of this. I'm going to run through these names real quick. Colleen
Mm-hmm.
Atwood is a costume designer. She's gotten 4 Academy Awards, including one for
Oh.
Alice in Wonderland. She's been nominated 12 times.
Oh, wow.
She's done costumes for Planet of the Apes, Into the Woods, Lady and the Tramp, The Little Mermaid. She's a
Oh.
great costume designer. Angela Bassett, who is an incredible actress. She was in Black
Mm-hmm.
Panther. She also narrates the Imagineering story, and she does some of the narration for, is it Happily Ever After, I believe? One of the fireworks shows she does some of the narration for. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's one of those. Martha Blanding, she is the first Black tour guide, the first permanent Black tour guide. Was Martha Blanding hired over at Disneyland as a cast member.
Oh.
She is now a VIP hostess, and she's the first ever Black
Oh.
woman in management as an expert merchandise, candy, and film buyer. Later became the senior manager of Disneyland Resort merchandise special events and has done a lot of other
Mm.
things. So kudos to her. James L.
Awesome.
Brooks, incredible director. He's directed everything from Terms of Endearment to The Simpsons. He actually helped create The Simpsons, which has won 37 Emmy Awards. Again, this is one of those kind of pulled into the fold. Now that The
Mm-hmm.
Simpsons is part of Disney, let's
Sure,
give
sure,
it some
sure.
achievement as well. James Cameron, he's an independent filmmaker.
Oh,
He's done
yeah.
a few small movies you may have heard of.
Oh, yeah,
He
maybe.
did something about the boat sinks, I think was the name of his
Mm.
movie, and the Blue People, True Lies, and The Abyss, and Terminator. Again, pulled into the fold as part of working.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie Lee Curtis, same thing. She
Oh,
was, of course, in Freaky
Stupid
Friday. She
Judy.
was Stupid Judy. Exactly. There you go. Stupid Judy, Stupid Energy. She was in Madame Leota in the Haunted Mansion last year. Miley Cyrus. Now, when I first saw this name, I'm like,
Whoa,
are
what?
you kidding me? Miley Cyrus.
Hmm.
But at the same time, her work when she was a teenager doing Hannah Montana
Yeah, okay.
vaulted that Disney Channel lineup to a new stratosphere. I worked at the Disney store at the time Hannah Montana
Mhm.
was kind of like her peak. Wizards of Waverly Place was just coming into the fold, so it wouldn't shock me to see Selena Gomez get the status pretty soon. But
Yeah.
I could see this. I could see Miley Cyrus getting this award.
Mhm.
I'm kind of okay with it, right? And so next is Steve Ditko, who's an artist. He worked on The Amazing Spider-Man. He helped Stan Lee create Spider-Man, actually.
Oh, wow.
Back in 1962. Done a lot of work back there. I think this is going to be a posthumous award. Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher are previously Disney Legend Award winners. Harrison Ford will now become a Disney legend in his own right. Which
Why wasn't he already?
exactly, I was very surprised that he wasn't one already. I'm not. If you're going to give it to Carrie and Mark, the dead, come and give it to Harrison.
I mean, for
he
real,
was,
because he's also Indiana. Like,
right?
let's just say
Indiana. He's also going to be Thunderbolt Ross in the Captain America: Brave New World coming out next year. Mark Henn, Walt Disney Animation's studio animator on The Fox and the Hound. He worked on Mickey's Christmas Carol. He animated Simba on The Lion King, Pocahontas. He worked on the animated Enchanted. He's done work on Frozen, Big Hero 6, Moana.
Wow.
Just a ton of stuff. Frank Oz, the puppeteer with the Muppets. He was a legendary puppeteer working with Jim Henson. He did work on the Muppets Thing Manhattan, Little Shop of Horrors, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, What About Bob? Just tons of stuff. He's directed things. He's done Muppets or whatever. So he's the original Yoda. performed the character of Yoda,
Oh.
Empire Strikes Back, and from there on out. So that's Frank Oz. Kelly Ripa. You might know her with Regis and
Oh,
Kelly.
yes.
But then it was Regis and Kelly. Then it was Kelly and Ryan. Then it was
Kelly and
Kelly and
Mike.
Michael. And now it's Kelly and whatever her husband's name is, Marcus or Mark or whatever.
Sure.
Just legendary character from television. So, kudos
Mhm.
to her for that. Joe Rody. You might have heard of him.
Oh, maybe just a little. I have a signed photo from Joe Rody or
Rody.
lithograph. Yeah.
Yeah. If for the fans out there that don't know who Joe Rody is, then you definitely need to listen to more of our podcast. He is kind of the creative executive for supervising and doing Disney's Animal Kingdom Park. Also worked on and creating Expedition Everest. He helped the world of Avatar and Pandora. Worked on the Adventurers Club. Worked on Alani, Guardians of the Galaxy. So just an incredible figure there.
Yeah.
So kudos to him. I don't know if they're going to give his earring a Disney Legend status as well.
I mean, it should probably have its own.
Probably so. John Williams, he's made a little music here and there. I mean, it's
how did he not already have one?
It's one of those like Disney's own Star Wars. I mean, for
well, that's true. They've only
like
owned Star Wars a little
and so
bit.
I guess it's been collaboration, but never really into the fold. So that's awesome that he's gotten that. So John Williams. So here are the people that are not Disney legends that need to be Disney legends. There's a long list, but I'm going to
Alan
put
Menken
names here. Alan Menken's a Disney legend.
Did he make it? Okay,
yeah.
I wasn't.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, not this year, but like this has been going
like
on
a while
for,
ago,
like 20 years now, right?
Okay.
So Samuel L. Jackson, his characters in the Marvel universe and Star Wars, huge. He was also Frozone, and it's one of those that if you're looking at it going, why is he Disney legend? I'm looking at some other people going, if they're Disney legends,
then why is he not a Disney legend?
Jamie Lee Curtis is going to be a Disney legend,
right?
Alan Tudyk, who is an incredible voice artist. He did Hey Hey from Moana. He did King Candy for Wreck-It Ralph. He's been in probably a dozen Disney films, as well as being Steve the Pirate in Dodgeball, because you love Steve the Pirate.
Oh, who doesn't love Steve the Pirate?
Stacy. Must do Disney Stacy.
Dude,
why
she
is
needs
she
to be
not
a Disney legend.
a Disney legend?
She needs to be Disney legend.
I don't understand this. And like, there's no reason she should not, because more people have seen her probably than they've seen like Steve Ditko.
Yes.
Well, I take that back. Steve Ditko's done a lot of stuff. He's seen a lot of Spider-Man. There's some people that like more people have seen her in action than they've seen a lot of other people. So definitely Stacy.
Yeah.
Yeehaw Bob should be a Disney legend. Because
for sure.
On one hand, it's like, okay, you got park people, maybe give them a different award, but you're giving costume designers awards. You're giving VIP tour guides, much deserved, by the way. I'm not saying you shouldn't.
Absolutely.
Yeehaw Bob should be a legend. Two more names here. Michael Eisner, because he and Disney did not end well. That relationship did not end well. It's been almost 20 years. I feel like Disney could put aside the bad ideas, the attitude or whatever for 3 hours just to bring him on stage, give him that award and be like, okay, go away. And that's fine. Eisner's the GOAT. I mean, he saved the company. He just saved the company from being basically corporately rated. Finally, and Jen, I want you to sit down for this because I didn't realize this until earlier today, that this one is not a Disney legend. Tom Hanks.
Shut up. Stop it right now.
Tim Allen has been a Disney legend for like 9 years.
Stop it right now. How is Tom Hanks not a Disney legend?
When I heard, I had to go look it up. Like I Googled it. I was like, that's wrong.
That's wrong.
Holy crap. He's not. How is Tom Hanks not a Disney legend? I don't understand.
He's the voice of Woody. He played freaking Walt.
Yeah. He played, I mean, and he's
they need to fix that.
I don't understand how he's not a Disney legend. This year's ceremony will be the last night of the D23 overall presentation. Ryan Seacrest will be hosting, and it wouldn't shock me to see Ryan Seacrest get Disney legend status sometime.
Not before Tom Hanks.
No, not before Tom Hanks. I mean, none of these people should be before Tom Hanks. Maybe Frank Oz and Harrison Ford.
Okay, no, I'll give you Frank Oz.
But,
all right.
If you're going to give this to Miley Cyrus, yes, maybe she deserves it, but come on, Tom Hanks.
But come on, Tom Hanks should be in that crew.
Seriously. So Disneyland, speaking of Disneyland, all the things that they get that we don't, just saying. So Disneyland is doing Season of the Force once again. They are coming out with Season of the Force. Hyperspace Mountain, which is opening up over at Space Mountain there's a huge layover.
See, but
awesome.
I don't think that would work in Florida.
And I get it. I get it.
You could not do that in Florida.
I get it, but they're doing different musical events. They're doing different merchandise. They're going to have John Williams. Some of his Star Wars scores are going to be heard in Galaxy's Edge. So you'll have the
bring
music
that to
behind there.
Epcot. Ooh, we can listen to it.
We do get the Star Tours, the adventures continue. We get some of that with Ahsoka, Cassian, and the Mandalorian. So that'll be going on Star Tours, some of those scenes and stuff. But there's going to be limited time merch over there. They're going to have like merchandise coming to the Star Trader in Tomorrowland. They're going to have just like new food, new photo pass experiences and stuff. New bounty hunters. I mean, characters walking around that we're not going to get. I don't understand why they get it. We don't. I get it. Don't give us Hyperspace Mountain. Maybe just don't do that.
Like we
But
can't do that.
seriously, I mean, like they have after hours events, the Star Wars nights and stuff. They could so do that at Magic Kingdom. Have a
They
Star
could do
Wars
it.
night,
They
and they
could.
would make
Well,
so
at
much.
Magic Kingdom, or wouldn't you do it in Galaxy's Edge?
Well, Galaxy's Edge. That's true. Galaxy's Edge. You're right. Sorry, Galaxy's Edge. But I mean, make so much money. Do an overlay of the Hollywood Tower of Terror and make it a Star Wars theme of some sort. I don't know. I actually don't know if you could do that.
Like bring back kind of like Star Wars weekends,
yeah,
but at Hollywood Studios as
Like,
an
just do it
after
an after hours event. Yeah,
Ooh.
it don't have to be the whole thing. If you're like, I don't want to do the whole thing for Star Wars weekend, I get that. But I mean, just Jen, I just don't understand. You need to call somebody. Call Bob. Call the Bob.
Bob's not
Who's the Josh over there? Do you know? Because I actually don't know. Who is
Oh,
Josh
I
at
do.
Disneyland?
Ken.
Dorsey?
Oh,
I don't know.
no. It'll kind because I'm so tired.
Whatever.
It's
Anyway,
Ken.
call
I know
him.
his name.
You seem to know, and you guys are best buds. So just call him. Let's be fine. Just call him, right? So finally, the D23, not D23, the marathon weekend races have been announced. It is a very nostalgic looking theme. It's really cool. The 5, 10K, half marathon, the Goofy's race, the half marathon, and the full marathon, and the Dopey Challenge. We're doing all of them. Different prices are out now. I believe that and don't quote me on this, but it's like the third or something where the Club Run Disney can get theirs. Like a couple of days later, general population can do theirs. Just look it up, or come find some of our stories and stuff and things like that, and you'll find it and everything. But Jen, I think that's all I got. I think that's good. You got dinner waiting on you. I got a kid running around here, actually being very good, by the way. So hey, Campbell,
very
come here.
good.
Come here. I want you to make your debut on the podcast. Come here, buddy. So let's bring Campbell over here to say hello. Oh, get up! Come on. Nope. Okay. Well, he says no. He says no.
Listen, he's not.
When you were, we took a break, by the way, during the podcast. Nobody heard it because we edited it out, but she did take a break to get some food from the front door that was delivered. And Campbell was right here on the shoulder, had his music playing. He was like, "What's up?" And I'm like, "Come on, dude, really, seriously." Anyway, so we will be in Disney next week. I do believe that we're trying to put together a special episode next week with you and maybe some of the girls doing a girls show again. Kyla and or Heather and or whoever you come together. And, you have free reign to do whatever. Whatever you want to do. You're the co-host, so do your thing. It may just be y'all giggling for an hour, which might be, it's like Divas Dish Diz all over again, which is fine. But that'll be next week. And we don't know what we're doing for 200. We've actually talked about this. And we have no idea. So if you guys have any ideas, email us, themsepodcast@gmail.com, or send us a message on any of our socials at the MSE Podcast on X and on Facebook and on Instagram. We'd be happy to hear some ideas because we don't know. We may just come together and be like, hey, it's 200. Woohoo. And just keep going. We don't know. So Jen, where can we find you? And are you gonna start posting any pictures from the weekend, or is that kind of because I know you disconnected, which was really nice.
I did actually disconnect.
Which was really nice. You totally deserve to do that. I was very happy that you did that.
I don't normally. And this was just one of those, like, everybody who I was with, like, they decided to disconnect from work. So I'm like, well, then I'm going to do that too. So, but I did take a lot of content. So yes, I will be.
Was it hard to disconnect?
Very
hard. Yeah, that's
very. But I did it. So I'm going, but I will go back. Cute, and I'll do some reels and some some posts of like fun things. I did send things though, like I messaged Mare, and she posted for me on the main page. So Main Upon a Star got some of my content actually. Just I didn't post it on my own.
Good.
But I will.
Well, it's funny because with our agency, and there are shows, there are podcasts that I know of that the hosts, until they get together on the podcast, they really rarely ever talk. Or I know several people work in different radio programs that until they get together on the air, they don't really talk a whole lot. You and I, and with Kyla, and with several other people in the agency, we talk basically daily, random messages here and there. Whether sometimes it's a question about travel. Hey, Jen, what would you do about this? Other times it's like, oh my gosh, did you see what just got released? Something big releases for Disney. I get in all capital letters, David, from Heather. She'll be like, did you see this? And we'll talk about it. So it's really a great little community of travel agents that we have here. And so not hearing from me for a full like 2 or 3 days, really sporadically, was a little unusual. And again, I was telling our third co-host Kyla, I was like, either Jen just doesn't like me anymore, or she's fully disconnected. And I was like, this is great. And Kyla was like, I think she's just disconnected, but she may not like you. I don't know. So thankfully it was the disconnection, but very proud of you on that.
Yeah.
Well, so did you say where they could find you? I don't even remember.
I didn't, but it's
where can they find you?
It's Out Upon a Star Jen, or at Jen _Novotny.
Find me at the Magic on a Dollar on Instagram. I do that every week. Find me on Disney on a Dollar and Magic on a Dollar on Facebook. And of course, I'm also got another podcast called the Deucecast Movie Show out every Wednesday where we talk about movies and fun stuff. And you have the Divas Dish Diz, another podcast. And
I do.
do we have any episodes coming up? Any talk of it? Now that you hit 200, or you're like, we'll just get there
No,
when
we
get there?
do. We just haven't been able to coordinate. There's been a lot going on. So that's kind of our MO.
It does make me laugh that we started this episode and you were like on episode like 97 or something of that podcast. And we're about to lap you on that, which is kind of great, which is kind of fun for me. Also, we have a YouTube show. I'm assuming we still have a YouTube show called Traveling with the Stars coming out about once a week or so.
Usually once a week. I didn't.
Yeah,
I missed.
It's
last
been
week,
crazy because Jen's kind of the head of that. So last week was a little nuts. It's been crazy for everybody. But yeah, let us know, guys, what you guys think about episode 200. What do you think we should do? Also, any Disney news, any feedback, we'd love to hear from you as well. Also, one of the greatest things you possibly can do for any podcast is go on whatever you get your podcast, whether it's Spotify, whether it's Google Play, whether it's Stitcher. Nobody uses Stitcher. Whether it's that or iHeart or iTunes, Amazon, whatever.
Yeah.
Leave a review. 5 stars is fantastic. That's the best one. If you leave 1 star, leave something fun, like the one guy that left the 1 star, the saying, they're not as funny as they think they are. Yes, we are. I will always laugh at our own jokes, which is okay. But yeah, that's the best thing that us or any podcast, leave a review. That's how those podcasts get known. Jenn, thank you. Go get some food. What's for dinner tonight?
Buffalo chicken salad.
Nice. Go get some buffalo chicken salad.
I will.
I'm going to take care of the kid, and we'll see you guys next week. Don't forget to thank your Phoenicians.
Thank you for listening to the Main Street Electrical Podcast. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at the MSE Podcast, or visit our website at themsepodcast.com. Be sure to subscribe, and may all your wishes come true.